So far, we've identified a whole host of things that we may want to extract from our pipeline and be able to graph and to query in interesting ways. The first step was to generate a build duration that we can send to these tools. Next, we want to tackle a few more of the interesting data types. In specific, we're going to extract out the counts of how many tests ran, failed, errored, and skipped. To do this, I have generated a small bash script that starts by just printing these values. Bash is a really useful language as it can be run on just about any server, but it's not the easiest to test or to generate readable code with. So if you know other scripting languages, you can feel free to generate this script in your own way. If not, I would suggest that you copy the script I've written via the link listed below, and we're going to take a moment to look through what it does before you go and try and run it. As we go through the script, I think it would be best to be able to show you the commands live. So in order to do that, I've opened up Docker Desktop again, and I'm going to run another container that is Ubuntu. So I'm once again going to go to the Images tab in Docker Desktop, go to the Ubuntu image, and click Run. Once that begins running, I'll be able to click on the CLI and open that up in order to run these commands as if I was on the continuous integration server. So here I am in my terminal, and I've actually brought up the gist or the script on the right hand side so that I can read through the script and look at the terminal at the same time. So let's start with the script. First lines first, we start with a comment, but this is a special comment because it has a bang or exclamation point directly following the pound sign. What this does is it tells the computer what type of interpreter to use for this script. We're writing a bash script, so this is the interpreter I'm using. You will see this with all types of scripting though, so for example, you might see this in their Python scripts or Ruby scripts as well. Then we continue on, and the rest of these lines at the top here through to line 8 are also just for help. They're comments. This comment will come in handy in just a minute, but in general, what we try and do with bash scripting when it's not easy to read is we try and give some context as to what's going on and why. But now let's get into the meat of the script. The first thing that we're really doing here is we're trying to say where are our test results going to be located. And I can go find those in my local code base. So let's pop over to IntelliJ and check it out. Here I am in IntelliJ, and if you remember way back earlier in the course after running tests, we were told that the test results would be under the target directory. This target directory is a different color because it's known to be a directory that gets generated rather than one which needs to be checked into code bases. Each time we build or run tests, a new target directory is created. So when I open this, I can see the compiled Java sources, and more specifically, I can see the Surefire reports. And Surefire is our test runner. Within here, I can see a couple of different formats for the reports, but the one I'm most interested in is testng-results.xml. Because in here, I can see right here on line 2 all of the test result counts and available for me to extract. So if I look at where this is located, it's located in the Selenium WebDriver Java course, inside the WebDriver Java, target, Surefire reports, and then the name of the file. So let's return back to the script and see how I do that there. Here, I'm using a different syntax where I have this #1 colon first. Then I have this information that starts with a very different location, home, runner, work, but I can see that it's matching my Selenium WebDriver Java course, WebDriver, Java, target, Surefire reports. So what's going on? Well, this is an example of how we can keep this script flexible. This first couple characters is saying that you can feed a parameter into the script and use that as the location of the file. This allows us to run this from anywhere. We just need to pass in the location of the test file we want to run the script against. But we want to prioritize being able to run this on our continuous integration server. So what we've done is we've made the location on that server as the default location if you don't pass in any parameters. So in the end, This variable test results location will be the location of a folder where the file will be located. We then want to get the test results string, meaning that second line in the file. The way we do that is we read the entire contents of the file into memory. So this is using a command called cat or concatenate in order to read all of those values. We then use the pipe command in order to pass the output of that to a grep command. And grep is a way of searching. And so what we're doing is we're searching for the beginning of that string, testng-results. When that gets found, it's going to end up printing the entire line that is found, and that's going to get stored into test results string. And this is where that comment comes in handy, because I don't want to have to read in the value of a file right now. It's just a little bit of extra work for what we're trying to achieve. So I'm just going to copy this value here, and I'm going to save it directly into a variable by myself. So I'm going to say test results string, and I'm going to save it inside of single quotes because there's some double quotes in that string, and I don't want those to go away. So now I have a variable called test results string, and I can print that variable using the command echo. So echo test results string. And that's a lot cheaper than trying to print out the entire 700 line file. So we're going to now use this string a few times in order to take out all the different values we care about. And that's what lines 12 through 16 are doing. What these are doing is they are saying that they want to print out the output of this string. And this string is saying the name of the variable it's trying to print equals, and then the value of the count that they're trying to print. To get this count value, what we're doing is we're taking the string that we've just saved into the variable, and we're sending it to a command called awk. Awk allows us to manipulate strings by splitting them on characters, by cutting them apart, and piecing them back together again. And so in this case, what we're doing is we're doing a delimiter of the double quote, and we're asking to print only one part of the output. So what this is going to do is on every single double quote, you can think of it as treating it as a new string. So the bits before the first double quote would be one string. The second string would be the bits before the second quote, and so on. And so you can see a pattern here where the even numbers, the 2, the 4, the 6, the 8, and the 10, are the values between the quotes. So what we'll do now is we can take this. We've already seen how echo works, and we're going to see how awk works now. So I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to just run a very simple awk command just to print the full and complete line. So 0 is all of the line, and I can do that. So this is saying print the line so that I can print the line again. It doesn't provide us a lot of value. So instead what I want to do is I want to start to split this. So I can say awk minus f, and I'm going to put the double quote in single quotes to be able to clarify that I want to split on the double quote. And now I'm going to print the first output. And I can see all the bits before the first quote has come through. So if I want to print now the second bits, I'm going to copy all of this, and I'm going to say 2, and I get the number 0. And that's how we're going to break down this long string to get the values we need out of it. So I'm going to now copy the complete command from the script, and I can see that there are 0 ignored tests. If I want to confirm that it's really doing this right, I can also run it for total tests. Total tests is 23. So this is great. We now can extract out each of the values from this test count and print them to the screen, just like we did for the total duration of the pipeline. So I think it's time that we try and take this into our code base. So I'm going to close out of this Docker container and then shut the container down. I'm going to do that by clicking the trash sign. That way I don't keep this running on my local computer. Great. Now let's get to the code base. And with that open, I can again write my pseudocode to be able to see what I want to achieve. What I really want to do is add to this collect build data step. But I already have a run command that is being run. So how do I add a second one? Well, actually what I can do is turn this into a multi-line run command by using the pipe once again. By using the pipe in YAML, it tells YAML that the rest of the lines that are indented by 2 spaces below are actually all a part of the same command. So what I can do is now add my comment to say run the script to extract test results. That's what I want to achieve here. So first I need to go and create that script in my codebase. To do that, I'm going to go into the resources directory under WebDriver Java and add a new file. That file is going to be called test result script.sh, just like it is in the gist. Result script.sh. You can choose to add that to Git now, or we'll do it later. From there, I now need to go and copy the script from GitHub. So in GitHub, I can actually open this up as a raw file, which will make it easier for me to copy. So I'm going to copy that and return to IntelliJ and paste that in. Great, so now I've got my script, it's been saved into my directory, and I now need to call it from the actions file. So how do I call a script from inside of here? What I need to do is I need to run the shell command in a specific location. I once again need to make sure that this step is running from a known location, just like I did with the Maven test step. So I can take that working directory and I can add it to the collect build data step as well. Now, when I'm looking to run the script, I know that the command thinks it's already in the WebDriver Java directory. So all that I need to do is say // to say run the script that's in resources / test result script.sh. And that's it. That'll get printed to the screen. Now to make things a bit nicer, because we're going to be printing a few things, I might add a bit here to this expression to make it match the others. So I can say echo total duration equals, and I can run that command inside of a $ parentheses, and now it will print out similar to the ones that are in the test result script. So at this point, I'm ready to commit these in and see it run on GitHub Actions. I can go to commit, and I can select the Actions YAML changes and the new script, and I can use my commit message that I've already created here about adding the result script to GitHub Actions. I can commit this, but I don't want to push it just yet, because we've already learned about how to make a file executable by CI. So before I push this, I'm going to need to go to my command line and make sure that this file test result script is going to be executable by the CI. So here I am my command line, and I can use that update index command again. So git update index, and I'm going to change mode or chmod to plus executable, and specifically the file that is found in WebDriver resources test result script.sh. Now I can check the status, and I can see that's ready to be committed. I can make test result script.sh executable, and I can push. And with that pushed, I can go back to the browser and check on my actions that are running. So here I am with it running, and I can click through and have a look. Our tests are running with Maven, and so I'll speed this up to make it easier to watch the video. And there our tests have run, and we can check on the collect build data section to see that not only do we have our total duration printed with a nice label now, but we also have how many tests were run, how many passed, and how many failed. So now I can see that actually a third test failed, unlike the previous runs, before I even have to click into that really long run test with Maven section. I'm not going to click in there now because I'm not going to do debugging of the tests. But what this is starting to show me is that I can get information about the quality of those test runs without having to dig in to the details right away. So there we have it. We've got some metrics that we want to collect, ready to go, but now we need somewhere to put them. So we need to start talking about what does a metrics collection piece of software look like, and we're going to talk about running Prometheus.